Well, hello, everybody. Little Buddy and I are going to take you on a little short garden tour. There he is. He says, hello, everybody. Hello, all you YouTubers out there. He's a sweetheart. He is. He's a sweetheart. I just thought I'd come out here and show you what the garden looks like after 2 nights of freezing cold weather. My poor peppers are almost succumbed to the cold. But, I mean, they're still alive and there's still hope. They can still produce more peppers. They're not dead yet. And they still got blooms, so. Now, these melons and cucumbers, I don't have any hope for them. It's a little bit late in the season for them anyway. But they didn't fare so good the other night. But you can see my peppers are still holding on. There's a little bit of damage right there, but not a lot. And see all these peppers that were under the trees here, they still look good. Maybe, I mean, there's still hope that they'll produce a few more peppers. Maybe before it gets too cold and stays that way. And it doesn't look like that pepper froze. So it's only just, looks like places in the yard that it got cold enough to hurt anything. Even some of my tomatoes, look, are still hanging on. My ginger. My walking onions. My marigolds. And here's this pepper. It's getting a little tall for this little pot. Look how tall it is according to that little pot. I didn't realize it was going to get that big. But it's leaning up against the arbor. So it'll be okay. And look at this. My clematis is just trying its best to come back to life. Look at all that. I mean, it's putting out flowers. Still. There's a big one up there, but it's facing the other way. It's facing toward the house. My basil kind of succumbed. It don't like the cold weather. But my tomato plants and my peppers are still looking good. The tomatillo doesn't look too good. But it's not looked good all summer, so. I got plants that are living in my blocks. Marigolds and other stuff. See, there's peppers still. And they're not frozen, so hey, I may get a few more peppers. But it did get extremely cold. And that poor tomato plant's going to break off if the wind keeps whipping it around. Let me see if I can get it up here behind this dead one. Let me put the tripod down. It's kind of hard to handle it with one hand. But that'll help keep it stable a little bit. Might keep it from breaking off. See, the basil didn't like the cold. There's only part of that plant still alive, and look at that one. It's a good thing I harvested it when I did. Those peas got a little bit too cold. Beans. Yeah, that bean plant don't like the extreme cold. It likes cool weather, but it don't like freezing weather. But all my peppers are still looking good. Look at that. That's a pretty pepper. Yeah, all my pepper plants are still looking good. They'll produce a few more peppers maybe before we get too many cold freezing nights. See, there's one. It'll continue to grow. That one still looks good. But you can tell the wind was really getting to my plants. The walking onions didn't care. They're still pretty and green. I can harvest green tops. And see, these peppers are still good. And this one is just still full of peppers. Look at this. They weren't big enough to really harvest the other day, but look at them now. That one too, it's still got peppers in it. And they didn't freeze. Look at that. My okra, I need to get those down up there and get the seed out of them. Let me put my camera down again. Don't know if I'm showing it to you. Yeah, when they turn brown like that, that's when you need to harvest them. You can leave them in the shell, or you can pop the shell open and take them out and put them in a little envelope. Or, you know, if they're dry enough, you can just put the seeds themselves in a little plastic bag. Take them out of the hull. My goodness, even my squash plant survived it. Look at that. And it's got squash on it. Look. I don't believe that squash plant survived the freezing cold the other night. And I can't believe that I left these greens out here. Little buddy, we're going to have to dump that pot of greens over in the... I thought I had more greens than that. I had set the pot down and I left it. But they're going to make good compost. Actually, they're still okay, but after them being out here in the rain and everything else, I'm not going to take them in the house. They'll make good compost over there. And you can see I did add dirt. I added dirt to the top of my compost, but in all that rain, it just kind of settled it right down. But all these plants survived. The tomato plants survived. Look at there, my onions. Yeah, now I can put more leaves. But I did put about an inch or two of dirt on the top. And now I need to add more leaves and stuff. Because those greens leaves will make good compost. Yeah, and I need to break the cabbage and get that put in the compost. Because the bugs really got to it so bad, you know, I don't want to eat it. And my tree collards, I'm hoping they'll survive to next year. These two Jolly Green tree collards. And it didn't hurt the beets. I don't know if they ever got big enough to really pull them, but they're in the ground, so it didn't hurt them. But see how much it rained? It filled the overflow buckets up. And it filled the black bins up. I had to flip the lids over so no more water would go in. I haven't checked on my rose cuttings in a day or so. Let me see what's going on in here. They definitely need water in there. And I'm going to put compost tea right here in there. If I can get in there with it without spilling it. Yeah, I just want to put enough in there that it touches the bottom of those cups. It'll keep the dirt moist in the cups. You don't want to keep it too wet. But all the peppers over here look good. Still. Like there's a pretty good sized pepper right there. And the stem is broke, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick it. Put it over here in this pot so I can take it in the house. That'll be good in a salad. The okra don't look too good. It got a little cold on it. The peppermint looks good. Look at that. Little Buddy looks good. He doesn't mind the cold. He was in the house. He didn't mind it at all. The rose bushes didn't mind it. They're starting to grow. I mean, the rose bushes are actually starting to grow. And look at the buds. They're producing roses and new leaves. But yeah, a lot of the okra is just frozen. And I got more okra I can pop off of there. Let's put this down so I don't make y'all dizzy. Check the rest of this bush. Check this one over here. It's got a couple of little ones. And it's got a big one. I'm just going to leave that for seed. A couple of them over here. Who would have thought you'd have been harvesting okra in November? But I got a handful in the house. I can put with this handful, and that'll be enough to cook. But see, the okra survived for the most part. I mean, some of the leaves look coal burnt from the freeze. But all these peppers still look good. This pepper still looks good. It's got plenty of blooms on it. My clematis is starting to bloom. My pepper plant here is still looking good. I think I pretty much picked all the peppers off of it. Oh, there's one down there. It's not big enough. But my Swiss chard is coming back. My morning glory is run out of something to grow on. That Swiss chard's looking good. And look at my sunflower. Still looks good. My walking onions. And I think my poor shark fin squash is just giving up. I just have no hope for shark fin squash this year. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting any melons, except this one. And I probably should just go ahead and pick that one, because the vine is dying. I might be able to get seeds out of it, I don't know. But it's turning yellow. So I'll take that. Let's see, all my stuff is just about had it. And I got one little yellow squash down in there. But it's not any good. The underside of it is kind of swiveled up. And I got 2 melons down in there, honeydew melons. But I don't think they're going to get big enough to do anything. they're not going to be able to ripen. Look at there, I got one hanging there. But if it freezes again, the poor plant's not going to have any luck at all. But it's got four melons. But the poor plant's dying from the cold. My greens are coming back. They're starting to put more leaves out. And I left that squash there because the vine is still pretty and green, so it's still getting nutrients from the vine. So I'm going to leave it there till the vine dies. And then I'll harvest it. But look at those. Those peppers are still looking good. Still got peppers on it. Little ones, but they're growing. I don't have any hope for the melons over here. Yeah, little buddy says the cold just got to everything. And I don't know, the rose bush there, it's still green, but it has not tried to put out any more leaves, which kind of worries me. But you can see the bush is still alive. We got marigolds there. I got purslane and Swiss chard in here. Yeah, I don't know about this rose bush. I really don't. Because this one over here, look, it's putting out all new leaves on it. So I know that one's fine. It's healthy. But I don't know what's going to happen with that other one. And this one's trying to make a comeback. It's already putting out roses. That one, I just don't know. I've left it there, but I don't know if any of the root is still alive. There's nothing coming up from the root. So we'll have to see. This is the bigger one, you know, that I trimmed back. I cut all the dead off of it. So it'll be pretty in the spring. Because that's all new growth there from the ground. From the ground up. And there's that one that's coming up from the roots. So that'll be okay. There's my pineapple tree. And it's got a couple of blooms. I want them to open because I want to see what the flower looks like. My peppermint. And all my basil is pretty much gone over here. It doesn't like the freezing cold. Does it, little buddy? It doesn't like the cold. I got that squash plant. I got the marigolds blooming. Put that there. I had to move the one bird feeder away from the others. I guess the wind blew them together and they were kind of clanking together. Look at this. This tomato plant is putting out little bitty tomatoes. Look at that. It's got little tomatoes. And the moonflower bush is still there. That rose bush is trying to come back. It's putting out new growth. And look at that one. That was the one that was all the way down to the ground. But it's got 2 new shoots, well, 3 or 4 new shoots coming up from the roots. So it'll be fine. It will be fine. And here's all my moonflowers out there. They didn't mind the cold. They probably enjoyed the little cooler weather. And hopefully they'll all come up next year in the spring when we get a lot of rain in the spring of the year. And I got to remind myself to come out here and get those seed pods when they dry, because there's like 3 or 4 of them hanging out here. There's 2 over there. So, because if I don't catch them in time, they'll just dump seeds all down in the wishing well and in these pots. Swiss chard is growing good out here. And my mum looks like it's going to survive there. Part of it died back, but it's coming back up from the bottom. Right along with my marigolds. I got 2 marigold plants there with it. So at least I got something growing in there. And I'll have to do something else with my rose bushes out here for next year if I root any. Get some rooted and replace them, I guess. I got my water bill, and the water restriction is still on the back of it. So I don't know what they're doing. They can't keep us under a water restriction forever. Come out here and have a fire one night. There's all the stuff we planted at the bird bath. They didn't mind the cold. I just wish I had it all fixed like I want it. And I would have had bigger pots out here to put all that in, but oh well, you just do the best you can. I'm going to roll this drain hose up over here and get it out of the way. Yeah, hopefully my clematis will come back up next year in these pots and go all over the arbor up here like I was hoping they would do this year, but we just had so much of a drought they couldn't do anything. But maybe next year. Yeah, but look at the flowers coming out on that one. It's under the protection of the tree. It gets a little bit of shade, and it kind of protects it from the freezing dew that falls overnight. So it protected that a little. Yeah, and I got my beets here. I probably need to start pulling them pretty soon. I was trying to let them get as big as they possibly could because the ones I pulled before were not big at all. Little bitty. Look at there. I got blooms on that tomato plant. Peppers there. Still got a few peppers here. And there. And over there. So I don't know. There's still stuff living in the garden. But like I said, I don't know how much longer it's going to be living. And I could probably cut this tree collard back and start another one. And go ahead and put them in the greenhouse. Because that stem is long enough, I could break it off right about up here somewhere and start another tree collard. Like I started that one. That was a piece that was broke off. And it's got 3 or 4 sprouts come up from just the one stalk. And it's great for your compost. Any of your cabbages and your collards are great for compost tea or to put in your compost pile like that back there. And my walking onions there are looking good. I don't know about my raspberry bush. It's got 3 prongs out. I should never have trimmed it back last year. It stunted its growth when I trimmed it back. I don't think you were supposed to trim it back. I think it was supposed to have berries on the old stems. But you can see I cut off some of the center ones. They didn't come back, but the shoots from the roots come back up. So I don't know what it'll do this year. But I've never gotten raspberries off of it. Not yet anyway. Put this up here on the porch. That's right, little buddy. I got to put that up on the porch. What do you think, little buddy? Huh? What do you think? Aw. He's so sweet. He's so sweet. Yes, he is. And I had this in the house last night, and the night before on the freezing nights, but I moved it back out today. I got to check the temperature to see what it's going to get tonight because I probably need to move it back in. But it's so big and straggly. I have to put it on the corner table that I usually put my Christmas tree on. That's the only table that I got in the house that's big enough. Because it spreads out so far. Look at that. It's gigantic. But I don't want it to freeze. It'll kill it. My mums. My peppermint. And look at my clematis here. Purple clematis up there. Purple and lavender. It would have been so pretty if we had not have had a drought this year. And that would have just covered the arbor on both sides, along with the mandevilla. But maybe next year it will. And my hollyhocks, they still haven't bloomed. So that's a mystery to me. I don't know if it came up too late because of the drought. And that's why it hasn't bloomed or what. But I don't know. Maybe it'll come up next year. I don't know. I'll have to look that up because I don't remember if it's a perennial or not. So I don't know if it'll come back up next year or not. But it sure got to growing good. And I was counting on some flowers, but I just haven't seen any. Just have not seen any. Ain't that right, little buddy? Huh? Well, now, if you walk over to me, I can't keep you in the camera. No, I can't keep you in the camera. I can't keep you in the camera if you walk up to my legs. People can't see you. He said, well, I'm just going to sit here. I'll just sit here. He said, that's what I think of the whole situation. I'll just sit here. I need to check on this mum down here on the table. I don't know, it may not get enough sun sitting here, and it looks like it's drying out. But I think the dirt is still a little damp. It is. But I don't know if the plant's going to survive. I don't see any green on it. And I only got 2 of my rose bushes surviving out here. That pink one and the white one or yellow one right there. The other 2 died. So I'll have to probably replant those. Ain't that right, little buddy? We'll just have to replant them. Yeah, we'll just have to replant them. Oh. You telling everybody goodbye? Because we got to go. I hear all the traffic. There's always noise in the background of my videos, and I can't help it. There's either road traffic, airplane traffic, neighbor traffic, or if I'm in the house, it's the AC running or the central air run. I mean, the central heat running. Or little buddy meowing for food. You gonna tell everybody bye? Huh? You gonna tell everybody bye? YouTube star. Yeah, he's my YouTube star. He says, I'm just going to lay down. That's what I think about the whole situation. Well, it's been a beautiful day, y'all. A beautiful day. I may just put one more rose bush out there. Maybe at that end where that little pig is, close to the tree. Because the one that's still growing is almost center. And then that one is at this end. I may just put one at the other end and see what happens in the spring. You think that'll work, little buddy? Huh? You think that'll work? He says, I don't really care. I go with the flow, he says. He says, I go with the flow. Where are you going? Where are you going? Hmm? Where are you going? You gonna tell everybody goodbye? I got a couple of mosquitoes flying around. He's probably ready to go in and get something to eat. You ready to go in and get something to eat? Huh? I think that's what he is. What he's ready for. Oh. I got my slippers out here drying. I put them in my washing machine with my load of clothes today, and they usually just dry right out here. They're still a little damp, but I'll take them in the house and put them close to the heater. Oh. Let me get this in. Let me go get my slippers. And I'm probably going to have to bring that. Yeah, see, he wanted his food. He's over at his food dish. I got to get out there and empty those overflow buckets of compost tea and water tubs and pots with it to get the buckets empty, because these warmer days and nights, it'll cause mosquitoes out there. Oh, and I wanted to show you what came today. My anonymous subscriber. I told you there was more coming. Well, look at here. If I can get over here and show you. I got to drop the legs down on this thing. I was going to wait and just do another video on it, but why not show you now since I got this video going? Whew. I told you she said she was sending freezer containers. These are 1 pint freezer containers that she sent. There's 5 in each one. So with the freezer containers, the plastic with the vacuum sealer, and all that, I'm set. And this is from the anonymous subscriber that sent the freezer and the vacuum sealer. So thank you for that. I am blessed by having a sweet heart of a subscriber to send me this kind of stuff. And with that, little buddy and I, let's see if I can get him in there. Get him in there too. There he goes. Little buddy and I want to wish y'all a good day. If you know it, if you know of anybody that has not subscribed to my channel, please tell them to view my videos and subscribe, share, hit the like button, all that stuff. And I'll see you on my next one, me and little buddy. Bye.